to come on in. Hello, Jewel. Hello, Dolores. No, you're not late. You are right on time. I was just getting logged in into Instagram. So I'm going to give everybody maybe a few more seconds to come on and get in. Y'all know if you see me looking back and forth, it's because we are streaming live on both Instagram as well as YouTube. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to come on in. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I feel like I got a lot of explaining to do. I had some people checking on me and reaching out. And so, hello, broke farmer. How are you? So I just felt okay. Let me explain. I'm back, y'all. We're gonna get back on schedule, and I'll go ahead and I'll break everything down. Okay, so we got people coming in on both Instagram and YouTube. I got my paper, y'all, with my notes because y'all know sometimes I get off track. I do get off track sometimes, but I got my little bullets here so we can get right into it. So, as always, thank you all so much for just taking time out of your day to join us. I feel like saying it's good to be home. It's like really good to be back. So, for everyone who's joining us, my name is Ayana of Southern Entertaining, and so we're teaching you to stop daydreaming about a garden, and we're going to grow one, and we're going to grow one together. That's what it's all about. And let me see if I could put it in the comments because we always send out text messages, and I normally give you a code to put in. But the company, now we have to do like the whole, what is it, 10 digits. So we have to do the 10 digits that you have to text, but once you text it one time, you're good. Now, if you're already on our text message list, you do not have to do this whatsoever. Let me make sure I turn the volume down so that we don't get feedback. So on Instagram and YouTube, I'm gonna put the number in the. So on Instagram and YouTube, I'm gonna put the number in the chat on Instagram, and I'm going to put the number on YouTube down below, but I'll say it as I'm doing it. So if you're not on our text message list, you want to know when we're going live, when we have specials, when we're giving out gardening tips, text the number 912-430-2700. That is, and I gotta keep saying it to myself because I just got the number today. I tried to move forward and they were like, no, you're gonna put a 9-digit number in. That's what you're gonna I mean a 10-digit number in. That's what you're gonna do. So and let me see if I can pin it on YouTube. Yes, so it's 912-430-2700. So make sure you text that number so that you can get on our text message list, and we'll text you every time that we go live, every time we have specials, every time we give out gardening tips. But I had to get a 10-digit number. So again, it's 912-430-2700, and I'm going to put that in the chat here. So if you're new to gardening, what I want you to do after this live is over, is go and get the 5 Tips to a Flourishing Garden ebook. This is going to get you on the right track to get you started with everything that you need to get growing. 912 is Georgia. Yes, we are in the Savannah area. Right by Savannah, pretty much. But yes, 912 is the area code, and I tried to get something a little bit easier to remember. So make sure, and on YouTube, once we're done and the video has rendered, I will make sure that I put everything in the description as far as our text message number, where to get the free ebook from. And so now that we're back on track, hello King Tax Services, how are you? Now that we're back on track, we go live every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we go live every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if everything goes well. I know it seems like I've been MIA for a few minutes, but I think I'm back, y'all. I think I'm back. So with that said, let me go ahead and get into where I've even been for, I think, I want to say like the last 3 weeks. Y'all, I've been working. And when I say I've been working, I have been putting in overtime. I'm talking about 32 hours overtime, 21 hours overtime. No, Jewel, I didn't quit on you. I promise. I mean, it was the Saturday before last. Seriously, my body told me, if you do not go and lay down, I'm going to drop you to the floor. So I think I went to bed at like 6:30 the Saturday before last. I mean, but this is nothing new to me. I tell all my family and friends from September, about September the 1st until October the 15th, that is what my job consists of. So besides being a gardener, I'm an accountant, and it gets really busy for us the end of the fiscal year, and so I know I have to put in that time. And I know this, but that's the only time that I put it in, is like during that time. I always tell people I'm a hard worker, but I'm not a workaholic. Like I really respect my time. I respect my time, and but I know that during this time from September to about October 15th, I know that I'll be putting in a lot of hours. So that is where I've been, y'all. I have really, really, really been working, and we have so many different moving parts that's going on that's different from the other years, because I don't think I've ever put in 32 hours of overtime, because I'm like, okay, look at here now, wait a minute, wait just a second here, I got to get out to my garden. I'm like, look, I got to take a break. So that is where I have been. So thank you all just so much for being patient with me, but we are back every Monday at noon, every Friday at 6 p.m. We're definitely back on YouTube as well as Instagram Live. Thank you all so much who've just joined us. Now, this is what I really, really want to talk about, because y'all, we're going to have to get serious. And when I mean serious, I'm going to tell you what I witnessed with my own eyes this past Sunday. And when I saw this, I really got like, okay, you got a no game plan. This is like for real, for real. You put your elephant ears in the ground. Yes, I know they will do so beautiful. They're such a beautiful plant. Real quick, I know it's off topic. King Tax Services. I also had to go home. We had a passing in our family, my uncle. So I had to go to my hometown, which is Columbus, Georgia. And I'm saying that to say King Tax Services is when I went to visit my aunt, she said that people in the neighborhood were stealing elephant ears out of people's yards. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. It's no way. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm the type, if I can propagate it and you want some, I'll divide it for you and give you some. But don't steal, So I just I could not believe it. So that's where I've been also. I just got back in earlier this week. So it's really changing Columbus. If anybody's ever been to Columbus, Georgia, it's really, really changing. I'm almost to the point where I had to use my maps to get around. They've just been building so much. But this is what I wanted to tell you, what I saw with my own eyes. I went to the grocery store, and I don't know about in y'all's area, so put it in the comments if you're witnessing this too. The produce section is very, very, very light, almost with things missing. Like, I went there for kale, and it was about 4 bunches of kale. I noticed yesterday when I went out that I see a lot of signs that says transportation, like a shortage. Either there's shortage or the trucks have not came in yet as far as transportation. I have been seeing this, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad I got to the store early, but I'm thinking to myself, So let me tell y'all what I immediately came home and started doing. I started planting seeds. I still got seeds right here on the table, y'all, that is lined up. Remember, I told you I went to get kale. I said, you know what? Let's plant some more kale. And I like to keep my seeds. It's really a photo box, but I like to keep my seeds and label them. I hope y'all can see them, and just label them so that I'm not just like looking all over the place. But we got different types of kales that I actually was planting. I was planting them as soon as I came home Sunday, because I'm like, okay, the trucks are a little behind and the produce is not looking well. So let me just go ahead and get to planting. I had already put out some kale. We did some videos on some patio containers that we did. But I'm like, okay, I actually, if you guys have been following me on Instagram and YouTube, I have actually started pulling up some of our pepper plants. I wanted them to go a little bit longer, but when I went to see the produce section, I said, okay, you got to make a call so that before it gets cold, if you want to get this kale, planted and just ready. Now, kale for us, now we're in zone 8B. And I want to say that because everybody is in different zones and different places. So we're in zone 8B. So I'm able to still start seeds and I will be okay. But this is why I tell you all it's so important to know your growing zone. So that way you know when you can start, when you need to kind of wrap it up for the season. Like all of this is important. If you do want to know when to start seeds, we have a Seed Starting Masterclass. This is going to tell you where you're at, no matter where you go. If you move, because we've stayed in all over the world. We've stayed in Italy, we've stayed in Japan, we've stayed in Germany, and no matter where I go, as long as I know the concept of my growing zone, then I know when I can start seeds. We're in Georgia now, zone 8B, but I know that I still have enough time to start seeds. So that's why it's really important. And I tell people, and I'll give you a good example. Like we look at pictures online and they may be in Australia. Well, Australia is about to get ready to start their spring and summer while we're starting our fall and winter. So I may see something online, but I can't start it now. I mean, it's too late. We're wrapping up our summer vegetables. So that's why it's always good to know your growing zone so that you'll know when to start seeds. And so on Instagram, the link is in my bio after we get off live. Y'all don't go there now. But after we get off live, the link is in the bio for the Seed Starting Masterclass. And then on YouTube, we'll make sure that we put it in the description after the video has rendered. But that's so important to know. So just be careful when you see things online. Just make sure it's applicable to your growing zone. But I'm telling you, I pulled up some peppers yesterday. What else did we have? I went ahead and pulled the holy basil and let it dry because I need that bed. And what I'm doing now is I'm planting onions, I'm planting kale, I'm planting lettuce because I don't know how long these trucks are going to be, just not able to get here. And we're by what they consider the seaport here in Savannah, but there are a lot of ships that are just sitting waiting. I don't know what's on them, but I just want to be try to be prepared as much as I can. Okay, so you're in zone 8A, King Tax Services, so you're in a good growing zone as well. You still got a lot. You have some more growing left as well. But let me just say this really quick also. A lot of the different kales and collards, they benefit from a good little frost. I always tell people, especially with my collards, I like for them to have a little bit of frost. That's what makes them sweet. It makes them sweet and good. But for a lot of us, the growing won't stop. Like I can pretty much grow about 200 and maybe 56 days out of the year. The growing won't stop, but it will slow down a little bit, because you can tell the daylight savings time is about to end. So you're going to have like less, less light. So things are going to slow down a little bit, but still try to, if you can, really try to get something in. Let me tell y'all what I did the other day is I came in and I started some microgreens inside. It takes about 5 to 7 days. I like to grow those because it's quick, it's easy, and then when it's done, I can come in and just like, cut them off and put them in the salads that we make. So I also put on my post, this is what I want you to do today. If you can, if you're in a growing zone, go ahead and start your seeds. Go ahead. If you have to get transplants, go to the garden center. Transplants are just a way, like they're already established, they're already growing, so you can still plant those if you're in a growing zone. It's very important to know your first fall frost and your last spring frost. That's going to tell you how many days that you can grow. So if you're able to get some transplants, go ahead, get some transplants. Put those in a grow bag. Put those in a container. Just plant it. Now, if you're in a colder zone, because I know we got some gardening friends that are in like 4A, 4B, what I want you to do is go ahead and get something, a piece of paper, your phone. Go ahead and start writing down what you want to plant. But what I want y'all to do the most is I want you to just start growing. Even if you just grow one thing, even if you just put it by your doorstep or your patio or something like that. It could be a herb, it could be a flower, it could be a vegetable. But I want you to get into the habit of just growing something at all times if you can, because I don't know, to me it's really scary. It's kind of like an eye opener to me. But I can't get upset at the grocery stores when I go. It's just so convenient now. Just go and pick it up. And my kale is not ready yet. Now, we almost have bok choy ready. We almost have, it's called liren choy. It's kind of like, I'll show you all a picture. I'll do a video. But that's almost ready. And we planted those in our patio containers. But still, my kale is not ready. And when you go to the store and you kind of see the produce looking bare, it's like, wait a minute now, hold on. I'm telling y'all should have seen me. I'm like, okay, let me wrap it up, get what's on my list, and I'm about to go home because I need to plant some more seeds and I need to get on it. I need to get on it quick and stop playing around, because since I've been working so much, it is some days that I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But Sunday, I was like, no, you're gonna do it today. You are going to plant these seeds today. So that is what I really, really wanted to share with y'all for the weekend. When I say what I want you to do now is I want you to grow something. And this is what I always tell everybody. I don't want y'all to tell me anymore that you can't grow. Okay. I want you to right now today change your mindset and say, I'm gonna grow this and it's gonna be good, and and I'm gonna grow some more. Because I always tell people it's like riding a bike. You just keep on and you keep on. I've been gardening for over 20 years, y'all, and I'm still killing plants. I had some Johnny jump ups that it didn't want to be there. It did not want to be in that space, and I'm okay with that. Thank you for letting me know early off. So I replaced it with something else. But you'll have plants that are finicky. You'll have plants that just don't want to grow. And you'll have plants that just, if you don't want to be there, that's fine. I'll replace you with something else. But I just don't want you to give up. So if you can't, if something doesn't work out the way you anticipated, it's okay. I want you to keep going. It's like riding a bike. Okay, just kind of analyze. What do I think might have happened? Did I water it too much? Or was it not in the right place? Did it get too much sunlight? Because here in zone 8B, I'm telling y'all, when it say full sun, we got a different kind of sun. We got a sun that will burn your plants up when it say full sun. A lot of the plants now, I've actually put a lot of our fall plants, I have a shade cloth over them, because I've actually had a couple of my mustard plants that bolted and went to seed. And what that means is, a lot of our leafy greens, they're cool weather plants. And so by them being cool weather plants, if it's too hot, they will bolt. You'll see them get like a yellow flower on there. When you see them do that, that means it's finna go to seed. Now, it's okay if that is what you want it to do and you're trying to save seeds, but we just getting started. So I had to put a shade cloth on there. But the plants will tell you a lot of times what they need. If you see them, wilting over, I mean, you might need to put a little water on there, you might need to put a little water on it, or it could be the sun could be too hot. A lot of plants, the leaves will kind of curl in or curl up because it's trying to conserve the water that is left in it. And then the way you'll know if it's like that is when you go out in the evening, it'll kind of bounce back. That means it was just like it's too much heat for it. So you may have to move it. I've had to do trial and error and move a lot of the plants around in the garden so that I can find the right space. But I'm telling you, once you find the right space, then all you got to do is just keep growing and keep expanding. But I mean, that was an eye opener for me, and I knew that. I won't say it's an eye opener because I knew it. I always tell people just grow, and you know how I am, y'all. I say when you grow, you know what you've done to the plant, you know how it was grown, you know what you put on the plant, because we don't know. We're just trusting. We're just using trust. But you know what you did to it. And then the most important thing is you can harvest it at peak time when it's ready. And I'm telling y'all, once you start to grow and you harvest it and you see the difference in the taste, that's when you're going to want to expand. And you're going to be like, I want to grow this year. I want to grow that this year. So that's why I'm saying some of my gardening friends in the colder zones, go ahead and write down what you want to plan out for next season. If you want to grow from seeds, get those seeds and go ahead and have them ready. Most seeds, as long as they're in a cool, dry place, they will be fine over the season and you can get started. The only ones I kind of try to use up is the my onion seeds. I'll try to use the onion seeds. King Tasser is the best tomato seeds. We really grew some good ones this year. It all depends on what you like or your taste. Now, I do like we grew the Cherokee purple this year. We did grow some hybrid tomatoes this year that was really good. And I always got to grow at least a variety of cherry tomatoes because y'all know how I am with the salad. I could eat a salad every single day. So we just grow like a few kinds. But what I will tell you is as you start to grow your own, you'll know which ones are your favorite, which ones you like, because some of them have a real in-depth, like you could smell it, because you're picking it at the peak harvest. You're not picking it when it's green, unless you want fried green tomatoes, but you're not picking it when it's green. You're picking it at its peak ripeness off that vine. And when I tell y'all, once you grow your tomatoes and you really find that tomato you like, you're not going to want to go, you're not going to want the grocery store tomatoes anymore. Like, it's really getting very sad for me that I'm having to flip. And so, I'll have plenty of leafy greens this fall, but I got to give up my tomatoes and my peppers and things like that. And if you think about like how I grew up, like my grandparents, they ate with the seasons. Okay. So if you can tomatoes, you could do that. Or some people dehydrate tomatoes. So they put up for the season. Then you go to your fall, you do your leafy greens. They put up for the season so that they can eat like this year round. But what I will tell you is I didn't can any tomatoes, but we still have a few tomatoes growing in our tomato bag. I'm going to, or in our grow bag. So I'll see how many that we get, but we still got tomatoes that are growing. The temperatures had got down, I think they're like 46 one morning. I was like, wait a minute now. I know I said cool off, but I don't think I said cool off that much. So, but we're back in the 60s. I think we're gonna have temperatures in the 80s, and it's always good to look at your temperatures. I'm telling y'all, I look at my temperatures for like a 5 to 7 day forecast, because that's going to let me know how I need to like plan for the garden. Like I told y'all, I had to go put out a shade cloth on the kale and on the bok choy, because I didn't want them to go to seed and bolt, or bolt and go to seed when it gets too hot as well. And we had a little rough start with the bok choy. We had a little pest. We had a few that tried it, but we're back on track. And so another thing I try to tell people, I got a couple of little bite marks in there, but I found what the pest was, and we worked to get rid of them. Because remember, it's not, I always tell y'all, it's not a one and done, but we garden organically. Sometimes I go out there with my headlamp on, because I'm like, y'all are not going to do it. You're not going to do it. So we found a snail at night, and then we found the what's called the cabbage loppers or cabbage loopers, depending how you want to say it. But we found those, got rid of them, so now it's growing. But this is my thing. I'm okay with like a hole in it versus chemicals, spraying chemicals. I'll take a little wormhole. It's all right, it's okay. It'll saute up real good. I will take that versus, chemicals that you don't know. See, when you grow your own stuff, you know exactly what you're doing to it. You know exactly. And I'm telling you, the taste will definitely be so different. So what I'm going to do, if you all are just joining, again, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. And so remember, we have a new text number. It's not the quick number. I pinned it on YouTube, but it's 912-430-2700. So text that number, 912-430-2700, so that you could be notified when we're going live, when we're having specials, and then we'll send out gardening tips as well. Now, on a normal basis, we go live every Monday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we do it that way because on Fridays, the weekend begins. We have gardening things we're doing. And then like that Monday, I come back and I check on everybody, see what's been going on. What have you planted? What have you been doing? If you have any questions, and always, if you have questions, DM me, email me, Anna@southernentertaining.com, because I guarantee you, if you have a question, somebody else has that same question too. We had a question today about someone had planted kale and it was just being eaten alive. And I told the lady, I'm pretty sure it's probably the worms. I'm pretty sure it is, but I always like to tell people, try your best. And it may not be, you may have to go outside 2 or 3 times, but try your best to identify the pest before you start doing like what we consider pest control. You want to identify, you want to know what to use, because you can't use everything on everything. I got organic pest spray for my houseplants and elephant. Yes. And the neem oil is good as well. But I'm telling you, just identify it, just so you'll know what you can use to kind of, start doing your treatment. And remember, y'all, you got to keep, I think for the bok choy, it took me about 3 applications before I had them under control, but now it's growing so pretty. And we'll do a video about it as well, just to let you see the progress, because we put out one when we first planted them. We started everything from seeds. And I always love to tell people to start from seeds, because you get a bigger variety of what you can grow. For example, we got kohlrabi. I don't know about y'all, but where I'm at, I've never seen kohlrabi in the store, and not where I'm at in Georgia. But you can like try different varieties. But if you don't have enough time to plant the seeds, I still encourage you to grow. Go to the garden center, get the transplant, and grow. That's what it's all about. But when you start seeds, you just have a little bit more variety of what you can grow. I mean, we grow all kind of color things, purple bell peppers, just certain things and I like to start from seeds because I can grow certain things that you don't normally see in the store. And then also when you start seeds as well, Um, you can start them inside and get a jump on the growing season. Don't even know what that is. Exactly. Kohlrabi is actually very popular in Germany. It was a very popular vegetables. And I just like to grow things. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to get a test. I'm going to do like a test plot. I'm really, really thinking hard this season about just taking some tart and go ahead and do it now. So let me give y'all this tip. If you're not going to start growing, but you are going to grow next year and you have a space, and just say, for instance, you have grass, get you some tarp or some cardboard, and over the winter, just weigh it down. You can get you a brick, just get something to weigh it down so it could kill everything underneath so that next season you will be ready to plant. And I think I'm going to break ground on a new space just to test different herbs and vegetables and flowers. I'll call that like my test plot. That's what I really want to do, because I love testing different things, because I learned with the peppers that are growing wild now, it's more. Now let me just say this, because I don't want to confuse anybody. The bell peppers are like a summer vegetable. But remember, I told y'all about our sun here. Like a lot of our vegetables during July and August, they just holding on, and they saying, look, now it's getting hot, it's getting humid, and we trying to make it. We trying to make it, but we gonna hold on. Around now through about August, it is so like the peppers are growing. So what I've learned about these peppers, I said, oh, okay, it likes it a little bit cooler. It doesn't like it too hot. It doesn't like that heat and humidity that we get in Georgia. It likes these temps, and these temps are about low 80s, and then like 60s at night. It's hard for me to grow bell pepper. You can do it, treats so divine. You can do it. I'm telling you, you could do it. This is what I want to tell you about the bell peppers. And I remember telling my aunt this while I was down in Columbus. Bell peppers can sometimes be some very, what we call heavy feeders. Like you have to really feed them some good nutrients. Like with our peppers during the growing season, like every other week we'll come in with an organic liquid fertilizer and give them like a liquid feed. Sometimes we'll do like a compost tea and spray the leaves real good. So they need a little bit of coddling. I'll just say it like that, because you have some vegetables that you can just plant and just let them do their thing. But I know for me here, tomatoes and peppers, I got to go out there and talk to them sometimes. And I got to go out there and say, okay, I'm going to feed y'all, but you need to get right. And I do. I talk to my plants. I do, y'all. I'm like, look, y'all going to have to get right here, because you got to be good when we get ready to eat you. And that's what I'm saying. When you start growing, sometimes you got to talk to your plants. Now, I'm about to put you in here, and you need to get yourself right, get yourself strong, and you need to grow. That's what you need to do. I'm telling you, if my neighbors were to see me over this fence, they would be like, okay, who is she talking to? But that's okay. I talk to my plants, and they do very well. They do. Yes, Sherry, the okra did good. As a matter of fact, if you still have some, because I think you say you were in zone 7A. So as you're getting ready to wrap up the season for the summer vegetables, if you still have an okra, let it stay on the plant, let it dry, let it go to seed, and you'll have you some okra seeds for next season. That's what we're doing. So I'm pretty much done with the okra. So I'm letting the ones that are there and the ones that got too big and I didn't pick it, because y'all know okra, you got to go out there every day, every other day. Like, you got to stay on top of it. And the ones I didn't pick, I just went ahead and I just let them start going to seed. So we'll have okra seeds. And this is why I like saving some of my seeds, is because they get acclimated to your climate. And I just noticed that each year that I save them, they do a little bit better. So I'm going to, yes, you got to talk to your plants. You got to talk. You got to talk to them, I'm going to go through the comments now. I know I've been going on and on and on, but I'm so excited to be back, y'all. I'm so excited to be back. But I just wanted to let you know that I have not been, that, the reason why I've been, kind of MIA. But everything, I still have maybe like another 2 weeks of doing just a little bit of overtime, but everything is starting to get back how it should. So we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled program, because I'm telling y'all, we have got to get these gardens growing, even if you start with one thing. And we do all three. We do vegetables, we do flowers, we do herbs. So if it's just something like growing your favorite herb, grow that. Use it. Herbs you can use in so many ways. We dry herbs, we use herbs in teas. I mean, it's just so many things you could do. I just took some rose petals and I said, you know what? I'm finna make a rose. We made like a rose. We did the rose water and then we took it and used some witch hazel and we made like a rose toner. It's just so many things you could do with plants. Even with rosemary, you could dry it. You could use rosemary in tea. It's so many different benefits, but just start off with something. I'm just asking y'all to grow. And again, I don't know if y'all have seen it where you're at, but the signs that they put up are eye-opening. Like, okay, we gotta get right. So I'm just gonna go through the comments. If you have any questions, just put it in the chat. I dried my peppers and put them in olive oil. Now that's gonna be good. That is going to be good. Overtime is over. I know, thank God. I'm telling you, it's whew, wow. I will tell y'all this. I would rather have been in my garden. I would rather have been in my garden any day. But I tell you, I'm gonna get out there heavy. Again tomorrow. Hello, Shirley. How are you? The Seed Starting Masterclass is already up. I'll put the link in the once the video is done on YouTube, I will put the link in there so you can get the Seed Starting Masterclass. But it already is available for you. You can go through the course at your own pace. You go through that at your own pace, and it's going to tell you everything you need to do, because although we are starting seeds, y'all know for our zone in January, we get right back started. We get right back started with it. Like we started again to get growing and get a jump start. Thank you so much, Sherry. But I just, it's just to get a jump start, and then it's also to make sure that you can grow. You can just grow a variety of stuff. Like just the possibilities are endless. I just love growing from seeds. Now, what I got to do is I do have to have a talk with myself, because I know that the post service is like, why she keep ordering so many seeds? That's okay. That's all right. We using our seeds over here. Is why I keep ordering them, because I'm using them. I know they have over the last couple of weeks, because we just got an order in yesterday, y'all, from Baker Creek Seeds, and as soon as I ordered it, I saw a different type of okra that I have to go back online and order. But yeah, we just got some more seeds, and it's okay. But what I wanted to do is I did want to get a few more herbs. I want to do like a specific herb garden. We still grow herbs in pots. We grow them in the ground, but I really wanted to make a space specifically for different herbs. And so I'm trying to go through the herbs that we got here. We got some lavender that we're going to start from seed. Horehound, this is good for respiratory. It aids, let me hold on, because I'm not a doctor. It aids in respiratory health. And feverfew, we got that. And then we got some I wanted to try these for next season. Have any of y'all grown like the long yard beans? I just thought it was cool. I hope it gets that long. Can y'all see it? I really thought that was cool. I said, oh wow, let's see if we can grow that. The purple okra. Now, Sherry, I do not eat okra. I grow okra for my youngest daughter, and we pickle it for her and we fry it for her. Okra is so good for you. Okra is very good for you, but I do not eat okra at all. I really don't. Um, and I'll tell y'all one day the story, and I blame it on my uncle as to why I don't eat okra. But this was the kohlrabi that we talked about. So this is also a cool weather flower. So we're gonna a cool weather vegetable. We're gonna plant that, and we're gonna do some good things with it. But yeah, I know the post lady is like, look, I'm not gonna keep dropping off these seeds, but yeah, we just did another order, and I got one more to do. And let me just tell y'all this. Again, go ahead if you're gonna start seeds. Go ahead and get some of your seeds now. Keep them in a cool, dry place. Again, this is a photo box. It comes with like 16, but I just break them down and I just label them and put all of like the like seeds in each other. And it's just like a big little box, but it just helps me to kind of stay on track. Yes, Jewel, do not sleep on the Dollar Tree. So if they got some seeds still, go ahead and pick up some now. So that way you will have them and you will be ready. That, you know, I'm like this. When you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. But I just love seeds, and I just like trying new things out as well. Oh no, you know the story of okra. I don't want to gross y'all out. I do not. But my uncle is the reason why I do not eat okra, because okay, I'll just tell y'all a snippet, and I'll let you just use your imagination and fill in the blank. Because my grandmother used to cook a lot of okra. Like in the South, whenever you had a vegetable, you had okra. Whenever you had peas, you had okra. Whenever you had greens, it was okra. And I would sit up there and I would eat the okra, and my uncle would be like, ooh, you eating? So y'all fill in the blank, because it's slimy. And he would just torture me at the table, and I was like, stop it. But he wouldn't. And so in my head still, but this is the thing. Your taste buds normally change about every 3 to 4 years. I tried the fried okra. I still don't like the taste. I just don't. Y'all will not believe this. Broccoli is another one that I've tried I've tried a lot of times. Now I do grow broccoli for my family because they like broccoli, but that's another vegetable the taste just has not hit yet. It has not hit me yet. And broccoli is a vegetable that, you know, a lot of people love it, but I'm like, My favorite, I can eat turnips, I can eat kale, I can eat collard green, and y'all know me, salad. That's my thing. When all else fails, I keep lettuce on hand. That's why I grow so much every season, because if all else fails, make your salad. Okay, so I see a lot of people that say they don't like broccoli. Thank y'all. I thought I was the only one, because people are like, oh, you don't eat broccoli. I'm like, not really. It'll have to be like diced, really, really, really small, and that's like celery too. I don't eat raw celery, but if I saute it, you know, like in during Thanksgiving and make like the dressing, I will eat it like that. Like I'll have to saute it. It'll have to be soft, but I like celery seed. Weird. Same thing with strawberries. I like the flavor of strawberries, but I don't like strawberries. But yeah, but I love mushrooms. I love mushrooms so much, but I don't know. We all have our own, you know, likes and dislikes. So I'm going to go through the comments. Again, if y'all have any questions, put them in there. I'm going through the comments as well on YouTube. I planted seedlings, didn't think about seeds. Yes, seedlings or seeds, that's fine. We just want we want y'all to grow. That's what we want you to do. Denisha, you're in Pembroke, so you're right up the road from me. You are seriously right up the road. Every time we go through Pembroke quite a bit. Okay, Broke Farmer is already harvesting the brassicas. Yes, that's what it's about, because I'm telling you, at the grocery store, it was scary. It was scary. I have grown the Mizuna before. I added in the lettuce. I added, you know, like I mix it in with the lettuce. So I have grown that. Very fun to grow. Are they like the Mizuna? I would think I always harvested like the baby leaves, Mizuna, and just like mix it in with the salads. that's how I do that. Let's see, y'all. I know I've gotten like behind, but we're gonna catch up. And again, thank y'all so much for joining. I'm just checking everything through. They're a mustard. Yeah, okay. Free seeds. Yep. Baker Creek always gives you a free pack of seeds. Let's see what our free seed was. Our free seed was the blue spice basil. So every time you order from Baker Creek, you do get a free pack of seeds. What would you recommend for backyard growing in small? For small in Louisiana, you're in a great growing zone as well. All your right now, your collard greens, your kale, your mustards, your salad greens. You can actually start carrots now and let them overwinter, because if I'm not mistaken, you are probably 8B, 9A, good growing zone. If you stay, well, let me rephrase. It depends on if you're northern or southern Louisiana, but for a lot of us in the southern states, all of the leafy greens are going to be the way to grow. Tomorrow we have some onions that we started from seeds that we're going to plant out in the garden, some bunching onions, and we're going to let them overwinter. And basically what that means is they'll slow their growth down, but they will get good root growth over the winter. And then like when it starts to warm up, they are going to be ready, the onions. Okay, so yeah, all of your collards, your kale, your mustards, radishes, lettuce, bok choy, onions, carrots. You probably in Louisiana, you probably still have enough time for the sweet peas again, not the flowers, but the actual vegetables. Some people call them English peas. We just planted from seed the other day. They take about 30 to 60 days. But you will just think about all of your leafy greens. And a lot of the leafy greens can withstand a little bit of frost. That's why I tell people that little frost is going to make those greens good and sweet. That's why I like it with a touch of frost on there. And what I do is depending on when I'm harvesting them, if I still want them to grow, I will do what's called leafing off, which I will go and just pull the outer leaves of the greens, still let the plant grow, and then just come in and cook them. Yes, a good combination would be like some lettuce, some bunching onion, some radishes, because those are quick growing, especially your lettuces. They're very quick to grow. I say in about 30 days, you can have you some lettuce and harvest them. The radish, in about 20 to 30 days, you can slice them up and you can harvest them. Now your carrots, they'll take a little bit longer. But again, you can let them overwinter. Come spring, you'll have you some good sweet carrots, and same thing with the onions. I think we can do the bunching onions, but we also do the bulb onions as well, the red and we have red onions, Creole onions, and some other onions. For us, we have to grow what's called short day onions in where we're at, short day, because of the amount of light that you get. Up north, I think they grow like the long day onions. Like they can grow like the Walla Walla onions, tongue twister here. But always also with your onions, know which ones. They have long day, they have intermediate, and then they have short day. For us here in Georgia, short day onions do the best. It's not to say that they won't grow, but I noticed, and I've grown both of them, but with the short day, the bulbs, they're bigger and they bulb up real nice, like, your normal onions. And it has something to do with the amount of light that we get, because I never understood that until we went to Niagara Falls, and it was like 10 o'clock at night and it was still light out there. And I was like, this is what they talk about, because at 10 o'clock at night here in Georgia, it's dark, but it was still like light, just starting to get dark. So let's see what we have here. The aloe, I always grow my aloe inside, but some people may grow it outside. A lot of people take them out, but I just have it like here, like right in the back of me. Yes. Okay, I'm just going through the chat, y'all, on YouTube. I found a new cherry tomato that is cold tolerant. Ooh, that's nice. That is nice. Growing with Donnie. Let us know how that works out. The pesky squirrels. Yeah, Jewel, let me tell you about the squirrels. I tell y'all the only reason why the squirrels I don't think really mess with my garden because we have a acorn tree that's in the front and then also in the back. So they are right now, now they do dig and hide the acorns, but the raccoon is who I'm after right now. I don't know if it's a raccoon or a possum, but he was very, very disrespectful earlier this week. And I did a video about it. So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to put that out. Very disrespectful this week. And I didn't appreciate that, what he did. I didn't. But I got my eye on him. I told y'all I go out all times of night and check on my plants, especially if I see there's a problem with the, like with the different pests trying to start. I will go out. I will go out there with a headlamp on, but I think it was last year, it had to be a possum, where I looked at him and he looked at me and he was like, if you gonna go in the house or what you gonna do, because it's my time right now. So, I said, hey, you got it. I was like, yeah, raccoon is very gangster. And I don't know if Shirley is still on here now, but she had to tell me the difference between the two because her family, when I tell you they hunt, and I forgot. So Shirley, if you're on here, put it in the chat. It's one of them that will, I think she said it might be the possum, that will just stand up there and look at you like, what do you want? What do you want out here? And that's what he did. Like he stood up on his hind legs and he just was like, you do know it's nighttime and you're supposed to be in the house, right? And I was like, hey, just don't mess up out here. I'll go in, but just don't mess up because I even, how you shoo him away? That's when he like stood on his hind legs. Like I suggest you go in the house. And I was like, oh, okay, you got it. You got it. I'm gone. But just don't mess up nothing, That's what I have to tell him. Just don't mess up. And he did. He was very disrespectful the other night. And I do have my eyes on him. Below 30 degrees. Ooh, at night. So yeah, you may need to, if it's below 30, like a lot of our leafy greens will do good below 30. That's when they really get sweet. But if it really there are certain times where if it gets really cold, I will go out with a frost blanket because it gives you about a 5 to 7 degree insulation. I'll go out with my frost blanket and my clamps and I'll cover all of my leafy greens up. I will make sure that I do that to protect them. But you still can grow those leafy greens in your garden, but you may just have to cover them up. Okay, so let me go through the comments here. I'm going, y'all. Hold on just a second. Hello, Yankee sister. How are you? I definitely missed y'all. I'm telling you, I really wanted to come on here singing. It's good to be home because I really, really missed you all. I miss talking to y'all. And that's what I love about the gardening community. Like we share ideas with each other. We share different things that we're growing and we give suggestions because we have gardening friends that are all over the world. They're all over the world. And so we have gardening friends that are in zone 4B. So if you're in the northern climate, then we just share ideas and share suggestions about that. And that's what I really love about it because I know Yankee sister, she's up in Connecticut. And so she always gives great tips, growing with Donnie. I mean, that's what it's all about, y'all. But we just have to start to grow. We have to grow. Yes, I'm telling you, I just said that what you have to do is you have to just get a plant. You have to start with one. And then you have to talk to them and say, look, now I'm about to plant you and you're going to grow and you're going to grow good and we're going to grow together. Because once you get started, Sabrina, once you get started, you're going to want to just expand all over the place and you're going to want to keep growing and you're just going to be like, I'm finna go plant me this. I'm about to plant me this. It's just, you don't want to stop. Like I'm seriously about to put some tarp over this grass and I'm just going to make me like a test spot and we're just going to keep growing to where pretty much the whole backyard is going to be a garden. And my reasoning, I told y'all before, I told my husband, look, it's less grass for you to cut. Just go around it now. Don't ride over my stuff, but it'll be less grass for him to have to cut to. He don't have to cut any more grass one day. I think that's a win-win situation. We got food, we got we got food, we got all of this stuff, and you don't have to cut grass as much. So pink celery seeds, we grew those last season, and if nothing else, they were good. But if nothing else, they're so beautiful because in the fall and the winter months, I like to add color. I just want to see some type of color in the garden. And so we always plant different things like pansies, and then you put you some pink celery, get you some Swiss chard, the Bright Lights edition with the red and the yellow and the orange. And so it'll just make you want to go outside. I'm seriously, like, how when you think about winter, everything is just kind of dormant and brown, but put you some color in the garden. And again, if you don't have the space, they have grow bags, they have containers. The grow bags, they're pretty much where you can water them and the water flows through. If you do a container, make sure you just put your drainage hole, put drainage in at the bottom, and you still can grow, because we just want to grow. Let's just grow something, y'all. Let's just commit to ourselves that we are going to grow something. But the pink celery is so beautiful. So yes, Denisha, you are going to do good. Just start. My sweet peppers didn't take off until September. Yes, the same here. And that's why I say they really love this cooler temperature. And I know they say that they're summer vegetables, but again, it depends on where you're at, because, if you're in a hot, humid zone, then a lot of our plants during the summertime, they like, look, you need to keep us water, and we're going to try to hold on. We're going to try it, but you need to come through. And so September, October, they just like come back to life. Say so. What does kohlrabi taste like? Guess what? I don't know. I heard a lot of people say they cook with it. It was popular in Germany, so that's why I like to test new things out. I'm growing it this year. We're gonna see. I'll let you know. We'll see what it tastes like. One lady said she just like dices it up and kind of sauteed it, and it tastes. We're gonna see how it tastes. Because again, I'm one of the ones that don't like broccoli. I don't like broccoli at all. Yes, Jewel, if you're ready to harvest kale, you are ahead. Let me tell you. Okay, I'm still trying to grow kohlrabi. We're going to do it together, Yankee Sister. We are going to grow it. Yeah, that's what you got to talk to your plants. It's okay to talk to y'all plants. I'm telling you, and they hear you, and they understand. They understand exactly what you are saying. Yeah. Let me read this from Josie. My neighbors see me cussing out the moths trying to lay their eggs, so they're greedy. And that's what it is. When you see a lot of those worms on your leafy greens, look around in your space. And if you see a lot of moths still, if you see a lot of moths flying around, 9 times out of 10, that's who's laying those eggs that turns into the worms that starts to eat your leafy greens. So right now I have a shade cloth and I'm okay, but what you can do, get you some insect netting and cover your leafy greens with for now. And what this also helps me to do when I put the insect netting on, it also helps me to see if it's coming from the inside or the outside. Because if you had pests in your soil, they could be just hiding out there waiting for you to plant something else, and then they could come up or they can hatch, because a lot of times over the winter they'll be dormant and you'll think everything is good, and then when it gets hot again they'll start coming out and they'll start hatching. But again, look around, see if you see some moths, because those are who's laying a lot of the I know everybody has its purpose in the world, and I get it, I do. But I just, I'm like, y'all lay off. We got trees in the back of us. Go eat the tree leaves. Go eat the branches. We got Spanish moths. Nibble on some Spanish moths back there. Just don't bother my bok choy. That's how I am. Like, don't do it. Did you say you put Okay, let me tell y'all about the cardboard. So the question is, did you say you put cardboard out now for spring? Yes, like if you want to create a new space, you can put cardboard down, put a brick, just weigh it down so that it doesn't blow up. If you have high winds, so that it can kill, like if you're going to do some grass, so that it can kill the grass. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm going to be honest with you because I'm totally transparent. I have laid cardboard down in my pathways and other places, and I'll put the cedar mulch chips down and the cypress mulch chips. But y'all, I'm gonna have to stop using the cardboard, and I'm about to tell you why. Remember, I said it's hot and it's humid here. We got too many snails and too many roaches, like where the cardboard was. So as it is like breaking down, I noticed that wet, that humid environment, and you know how the roaches are, and they hatch babies. So I have decided, now for some people, the cardboard is the way to go. So you have to make that decision for yourself. But we have always had a snail problem here. But I just noticed with the cardboard, and it's only in the pathways that I put. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to go heavier on my mulch. So just say, for instance, I put 2 inches of mulch down. So I may do 3 or 4. I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker to keep the grass from coming out. Just because if I have so many slugs and snails, because we have both, the only difference is one has a hard shell and one does not, then they eat like my strawberries in our strawberry patch, and they go towards some of your leafy greens as well. So I'm just going to make the decision to do a thicker mulch on there and just do the cardboard. But cardboard works. It does work. But for our zone, it's too hot, it's too humid, and it stays too wet. And I just found that is a real breeding ground for them. But you make that decision based on where you're at. But yes, to answer your question, y'all got to keep me on. Okay. Y'all know y'all got to keep me on track because I'm like all over the place. Yeah, with the postal service, I'm telling you every day, but it's good. The lavender we got, okay, so we got 2 type of lavenders. This lavender we got this one was from Baker Creek. And then we also got one from Park Seed Lavender. Now, let me tell y'all about lavender, okay? Y'all know I like to experiment. I think I'm like some type of scientist or something. Okay, so we got this from Baker Creek. This is this lavender. But I also got a lavender from Park Seed. Now, the lavender, you're going to have to watch it. I would tell people, if you know somebody with lavender, take you a cutting. Take a cutting and root it that way. And when I say take a cutting and root it, you can root it 2 ways. You can, and this is how I do my rosemary. So I'll take off maybe like half to 3/4. So I'll take a piece of rosemary. I'll cut it at a 45-degree angle, and I will put it in a cup and let it change out your water every few days. And then I will let it start to get roots. You'll see the roots growing. This is how we propagate our rosemary. You'll see roots growing. You can also take like a little bit of coarse sand, a little bit of potting soil. I have what's called Take Root. It's a rooting hormone. Dip the end in that. So I put a little bit on something because I don't dip, the plants, like, how people say double dip. Me personally, I don't do that. I'll put it in something and then, just roll it in there and then stick it in the soil. Make sure you keep it water and root it that way. I just want to try, and this is, still try it. But I noticed in the past when I've done rosemary and lavender, we still was successful with starting seeds, but it took a lot of watching. It took a lot of making sure it stayed watered. I kept it up under the grow lights. Like, it took a long time versus me just taking a cutting and doing that. But again, this is a new variety that I wanted to try. And I think they said this is very easy to start from seeds, but this is also saying on the back that I need to cold stratify these for 30 to 45 days. So you're saying, what is cold stratifying? Cold stratifying is you put the seeds in, for me, I put them in the refrigerator for about 33 to 30, 40 days, how much ever it says, different seeds, different times. And coneflower is another one I do like this when they say cold stratify. So what I do is I will put them in the refrigerator for the amount of time that they said, because what that's doing is it's simulating, just say like winter. It needs a cold period. It's simulating that. And then when you take it out and you plant it, it's just like telling the plant, okay, it's time to wake up. I'm ready now. Like I'm ready. And then you can do better. Like some plants benefit from being in the refrigerator, and then you plant them from seeds, and they have like a few. I know coneflower, I do that. I cold stratify it. I'll put it in there. Garlic is another one, because we don't get cold enough here in zone 8B. So what I will do right now, I have garlic that has been in the refrigerator, and about mid-November I'm going to plant it out, because it needs about 8 to 12 weeks of just consistent cold. Sometimes we may get down to 28 or something like that, but it's only for a few days. It's not like a long time. So that's what cold stratifying means. Now, if you want to, you stay somewhere in a cold zone, you could potentially like plant these, let them stay out where you're at, like outside, and then when it's time, because seeds know when it's time. They know when it's time to germinate. When it's time, you can do that as well. So that was about the lavender, y'all. I'm going through the comments. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, but that was on the lavender. And yes, Jewel, y'all do not sleep on the Dollar Tree. Let's see, Yankee Sister, I have grown the long yard beans, but my family and I did not care for them. Oh, I think I let them on too long. They were tough. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind. Yankee Sister, that was just, I'm telling you, something about pictures on the internet is like, ooh, that looks so pretty. I want to try that. So that's why I was like, ooh, that looks so pretty. I want to try it. But I will definitely keep that. I'll keep that note in the back of my head. Okay, I love oranges, but not the flavor of orange. Yes, yeah, I love seeing this. My kids love broccoli. I'm growing a bunch. Yes, yes, yes. They have seeds at the family. Yes, I've heard, and I don't know if Shirley is still on here too. They had seeds that were at the Dollar Tree that they hadn't taken off, and they were selling them, I think, for 1 cent each. And I think the manager was like, I got to take them off the shelf, but she had to sell them to her because they were still on there. But then, after the transaction, she was like, I got to take it off the shelf. So, yeah, we'll see about that. So just check. You never know. And then a lot of times some of the online seed suppliers have a great sale as well. So check online too, because they're trying to get their 2022 seeds in. And again, in my experience, as long as you store them in a cool, dry area, they've been okay. The only ones that I try to hurry up and use up is the onion seeds, but for the most part, all the other ones, they've been just fine. And I'm talking about 2-3 years that we still bring them out and we sow the seeds. My Dollar Tree lettuce are huge. That's right. I'm telling you, don't sleep on the seeds. Do not. Yeah, yes, they do, Yankee Sister. These bugs and these animals, they just got to go somewhere else. So Jewel planted her garlic last week. Yes. The garlic, we got maybe a few garlic cloves left, y'all, but I'm telling you, I was just cutting up onion today, and I gotta go heavy on. I think I used more onion than I thought I did, because when we harvested them, we stored some. And I was just thinking today, because we're planting onions tomorrow, I was like, ooh, I wonder will that be enough? Because what I try to do is do enough so that it will last and so that I can store them as well. especially with the garlic and the onions. I use those in just about everything. I think squirrel handles the first and second shift of disrespect. Yes, 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 yes. You are right, Josie B. I'm telling you, the squirrels now. I don't know. I just don't understand. Like, it's so much nature out there. Like, it's so much, and it's so much good nature out there that they just come and they try you. They really do. They try you. But you're right. They got shifts. You're right. The squirrels first and second shift, because you don't see. I don't know about y'all. I don't see squirrels at night. Like when I'm outside. So maybe they go to bed, and you're right. The possums, the possums and the raccoon, they take the night shift. That's what they do. Oh my gosh. White winter's here. Oh my gosh. Have y'all got snow yet? Oh my goodness. Do you do garden design? I have 4.2 acres and don't know where to start. Let me tell you, Tanisha, that is next. That I have been dabbling like for myself, but I would love, wow, that's amazing. You don't know where to start. Um, I would probably start with perennials first. I would probably get like a perennial, or just get like, if you don't have a tree barrier, just get like a tree barrier going first for the wind, like a windbreak, what they call it. And then I probably would start with perennials and then just work my way in. Yeah, and start small. I don't know if you have a, when they say windbreak, it's just like a line of trees, and do, yeah, little by little, because you will be amazed. And I'm glad you said that, growing with Donnie. And I'm just thinking about my garden now. You will be amazed of the progress over the years that you make, like when you do step by step by step. I totally agree with that. Because when you start looking back, and I'm looking now, I'm like, this looks like a totally different, it looks like a totally different space. And always do what you can handle. That's one thing I always tell people, is to don't overwhelm yourself. A lot of people have kind of threw in the hat with gardening because things can get out of control. I'm going to be honest with y'all. The weeds, they grow faster than the plants, okay? And like right now for us, we have perennial weeds. The perennial weeds are the ones with those long roots that you just can't, just take. You got to pull them up from the root. And so a lot of times when you see the weeds and you don't get them in time, they got thousands and thousands of seeds. So if you don't get them all, guess what? You're going to see even more next spring. And so a lot of people get overwhelmed by this and they get frustrated. So definitely take it step by step by step. Only do what you can handle. Think about your schedule, what you have time for. Hello, growing with Hudson. How are you? So yeah, let's start some kohlrabi too, y'all. My friend in Atlanta says that Spanish lavender grows better in our zones and that English lavender always fail in our zone. Yeah, let me tell you about the lavender. I'm growing them in pots because it stays too. Lavender is like is Mediterranean, and so for us it stays too moist here. Yeah, like humid. It stays too humid and it stays too moist. Like we don't get a whole bunch of rain, but we get a good share of rain, and it doesn't like wet feet. So all of my lavenders, I got 3 pots. I'm growing in containers because every time I've tried to put them in the ground, they start off good, but then they don't do so good. Like they'll start, like a part of it'll start dying, then you got one part that's still living, and I'm just like, But so far in the containers, they have been doing really good. Jewel, I have to look that up because I've seen a lot of people that winter sow in the jugs, like over the winter, and it turns out so good, and they are just like ready. And I really want to look that up. I've been seeing that. I think I'm going to try winter sowing this year. Yeah. Yep. I think that is a good idea. Winter sowing. I've seen a lot of people doing it. Just depending on if you want flowers, herbs, or vegetables, where they put the seeds when they taken off the shell. Dante, at the Tractor Supply store, I know for a fact they had just a big cart, and then a lot of times they'll put stuff on clearance. A lot of places that have, okay, so the question, because I know y'all like, what is she talking about? So the question was, where do they put the seeds when they're taken off of the shell? a lot of places that have community gardens and nonprofit, like you can go to some of them and they will donate seeds to community gardens and things like that. And then you also have stores that will just put them in a big cart and just say, they'll put a price on it and say 50 cents or 75 cents or something like that. But I do know of a lot of nonprofit places that will go and get the seeds. Like they'll talk to the manager, or if you have a community garden, they will also donate seeds as well. I will have my winter garden on check with the 6 mil plastic. Okay, just cover my strawberry plants and mint with mulch. Yes, that is very good thing to do. That's what we always like to do with the strawberry, and just love to see them pop open. So thank y'all so much for hanging with me. I just wanted to just let everybody know where I've been, but I'm serious, y'all. We've got to start. Let's just all commit to growing. That's what I really want us to do, especially with some of the things that we have been seeing going on, and just grow. And then if you have like a neighbor or something, y'all get together and say, hey, you grow this, I grow that. You could do something like that. But let's just grow. Let's tell ourselves we can grow. I always say, if you're unsure what you want to grow, pick something that you like. Pick something that you like. And then if you're still unsure, start with an herb, because most of us cook with herbs, and then that way you'll know it's fresh. When you do, you'll know that it's fresh because you're going to pick it right where you're growing it. You're going to pick it at its peak. It's going to smell so good. So let's just go ahead and let's just start to grow. That's what it's all about. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Remember the new number. I got to look at it, y'all, because of the simple fact that I have to remember it myself. Remember, text the word Let's Grow 912-430-2700. That's 912-430-2700. Text the word Let's Grow to be notified when we're going live, when we're having specials, and then we'll also send you gardening tips. So be safe this weekend. Start growing something, and remember, Monday at 12 noon we'll be going live again. So you all take care, and we'll talk again soon. Bye, y'all.